Hello everyone! So a quick thing before I start this video is I actually painted something. It's pretty exciting and I wanted to show you guys. So I painted this and it says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul," Hebrews 6:19, and I thought that was really kind of cute. I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it was adorable. Last random thing is, yes, I am wearing a high bun hairstyle. I used a sock and I've actually done this since a freshman year in high school 6 years ago, and apparently it's now big to have a high bun, except I used to wear mine lower, but anyways, maybe I'll do a tutorial on that. Let me know if you guys would like a tutorial on how I do this. To get started, this is going to be the second to last video in my college series. I know you guys really liked this series. I got lots of positive feedback, but I'm running out of ideas, so the last video is probably going to be the big organizational video that everyone loves. So this is how to study for a foreign language. To give you a little background about myself, I am actually trilingual. I can speak Burmese, English, and Chinese. Burmese was actually my first language. Even though I'm American, I'm born in America, my family spoke Burmese at home, so that was actually my first language, and I obviously can speak English very well, so I know English very well. And Chinese, I recently learned Chinese. I've taken Chinese for about a year now in school. I'm taking again this next school year, and I went to China in January. If you guys, I have some videos up of that, to take a very extensive and thorough language program while I was there. It was the Beijing Mandarin Institute. It went very well, and I'm not saying like I am a professional at speaking other language. By far, I am not. Yes, I can speak Burmese and yes, I can speak English, but I'm not saying that I can speak awesome fluent Chinese. Like, no. While I was in China, the first day, everyone like looked at me. I couldn't even say my own name right. They were like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Lancha." They were like, "The what?" And I was like, "Isn't that how you pronounce it?" They were like, "No." So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm extremely fluent, but I am saying this is how I study for the language. So, I'm probably going to be speaking some Chinese a little bit in this video, and if you're Chinese and some of my tones are a little off, just bear with me because I'm still learning the language. I've only taken it for a year. I just thought I would give you guys some tips and tricks on how I study for a foreign language. I'm not saying this is the only way you can study. Please don't take it that way. There are many ways that you can study for a foreign language, but this is just personally how I study for one. One thing that I think is absolutely so huge is to make flashcards. Flashcards are amazing. I don't know why people don't make flashcards. Like, how can you study for a language if you can't even really visually see it? So the way I find that is most effective to making flashcards is making it three-sided. So depending on what kind of language, there's many different components to a language, but I'm just going to use Chinese as an example since that's the most current language I've been studying right now. And for example, this one is Tian, and this is the symbol for it, or the character, excuse me. And okay, what I do is I take a flashcard and I fold it in half, and that makes it, you know, many sides. And I put the character on front, I flip it up, and I have the pronunciation, and I also put the tone, which I'll get to tone in a second. And on the back I have what the actual definition is. Now this one isn't actually a really good one because this is a measure word. Let me get one that isn't a measure word. Okay, here's something a little bit better. This was the character, that's how you pronounce it, and that's what it actually means in English. So this one is the character 公共汽车, and that just means but. What I do is I first have it on this side, and I just practice writing the characters. And one thing that I think is really helpful for me is I have this big notebook. Not big, but I just have one of these notebooks. They're just like college, 70 sheets college ruled subjects. You can get these for like 10 cents at Walmart or something like that. And I just literally spend hours upon hours just copying the characters over and over again. Now this is my third notebook like this. I finish one every semester, and this is my summer one, kind of practicing the characters. But I just go through that and I just rewrite the character. There's a certain stroke order you need to go through, and it's very important that you do that and you're not just drawing a picture. If you have characters or symbols in your language, if you're taking something like German or French, there isn't characters, there's more pronunciation and tones. So pronunciation and tones are very important. As Americans, English isn't really like that. Like blue, like the color blue, and blue, like the wind blew, they sound the exact same. The only way you can tell the difference is in context and in the sentence structure and how it's spelled. However, in other foreign languages, tones are very important. For example, in Chinese, there's 4 tones. You have, and they're called tone 1, 2, 3, and 4. But when you're writing it, you will see they have different marks, and I'm sure other languages are like this too, through my million buckets of cards I have here. So there's different tones. So for example, first tone is gong, second tone is gong, third tone is gong, and the last tone is gong. I just felt like a total retard for doing that. But anyways, you get the picture. Like, tones make a difference, and each tone means something different. Like, I know in Burmese, 2 different tones, and one means wife and one means daughter, and that's a big difference. So when you're studying a foreign language, you need to make sure that this is what you write, and your hand needs to remember that, and this is how you need to pronounce it, and you need to pronounce it. You need to go with a friend and just pronounce it over and over again correctly. I know at my school, my college that we have, there are so many aids to help you. So like, I would go to my Chinese tutor at night, and she would just help me pronounce everything to make sure I got it right. Something I feel like a lot of people forget is grammar. My Chinese textbook I use, this is the level 1 part 1. This is my first semester textbook, and I just pulled it up because I just couldn't find my second semester textbook, my part level 2. But there is a grammar section here. Read the grammar section. It only takes like 5 minutes of your day max, and it really does help, because you know what, not everyone talks the same way in English as they do in other languages. You know how like sometimes Chinese people are like, me love you, and we're like, what do you, like, why would you say it like that? Because that is how you say it in their language. One of the biggest things I think that really helped me learn Chinese, rather than, I also took Spanish when I was in high school, and I definitely think it helps the method in which you learn, because I could not learn Spanish. And let me tell you, like, Spanish is supposed to be not that hard to learn, and I just couldn't learn it. Oh my gosh, it just was not happening for me. And I definitely think it was the teacher, and I definitely think it was the way I was being taught. And one thing I think that definitely makes a difference is, don't just learn vocabulary words. That's what we did in high school. We just learned vocabulary words, and then we were expected to put them in a sentence after we had read the grammar section. Like, no, I obviously don't know this language. I don't know how the grammar structure is supposed to go. I don't know these words, even though I'm like repeating them a million times. I don't know what to do. What my Chinese teacher did whenever we first started learning Chinese, she gave us a sheet of class things to say. So we, at the very end of the first week of class, we could start saying, I have a question, or my name is, or we could say, could you repeat that? Like, oh my gosh, within the first day I knew how to say, like, how do you say that again? Because you know what, I don't know how to say that. And you know what, that is something so important, because if you actually use the language in a way that is going to be productive for you, you're actually going to learn it, because it's stuff that you need to say, rather than like, oh, this is how you say blue and white and orange and green. Do you say that in everyday life? Yes, you might, if you're like a fashion person like I am, or like we are. You're probably gonna say colors every day, but if you're just like random out on the street, you're not gonna be like blue, green, orange. No, oh no, you're gonna be like, oh, excuse me, can I see this? Could you answer my question? Like, I have a question. Like, you're not gonna shout out in the middle of class, white. So this video has been a little strange. I think this one has been the strangest out of all my college series videos. Please don't judge. But I hope you guys found this video helpful in studying. And like I said, this is not the only way to study for a foreign language. Please don't take it that way. Please don't get offended. These are just my tips and tricks on how I study for a foreign language. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And please comment, rate, and subscribe. Like this video if you'd want to. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!